Good afternoon, everyone. Today is the 10th day of May 2024. The story of Nigerian insecurity challenges started majorly from Borno State to Katsina, from Katsina to Kaduna, from Kaduna to Plateau, different parts of the north, from there to Abuja, before it started spreading to different parts of Nigeria. Nigerian citizens are being subjected to capital punishment, not because they committed a crime that resulted to them being the victim of these punishments. So many parts of the world, capital punishment is being prohibited, especially in the Western countries. But today, what do you have to do to deserve a capital punishment in Nigeria? Absolutely nothing. Only thing you need to do is for you to become a Nigerian citizen and live in Nigeria. You might wake up in the morning and see yourself in the kidnapper's den, and that could end your life. And the government will respond. They don't even care whether someone exists. This story of insecurity in Nigeria is getting worse every day, and the government of Tinubu is making sure that they pay least attention to it. This is what we have cried for 8 years of Muhammadu Buhari's administration, that they are pampering terrorists to the extent of inducting those so-called repentant Boko Harams into the Nigerian army. This situation is trending from one story to the other. The other day, we heard about what happened in police barrack. The other day, it was military. Another day, it was politician. But what happened in Kogi State yesterday, this time around, is in the university. The students were abducted, some of them were killed. What is their crime? Just become a student living in Nigeria and schooling in Nigeria. The government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, led by the APC Bola Tinubu, has no capacity to protect the life and property of Nigerians. And this is the primary responsibility of every government. Yes, but this time around, it seems that these people have their own protection and leave the rest of the citizens vulnerable to the attacks of the banditry and other criminal elements. It is in the news that bandits on Thursday night invaded the Confluence University of Science and Technology, Osara, Okene in Kogi State, and abducted some students. Some of them were reportedly killed. A witness account indicated that the bandits whooped on the university around 9:00 p.m. while the students read for their upcoming exams. The source said that the bandits came in through the bush, went into 3 lecture halls and began to shoot into the air to scatter the students. Some of the spray bullets touched so many students, which leads to their death. They trapped the students inside the halls and started taking them. The school was thrown into a total confusion as fear-stricken students in other halls scurried to safety, scampering in various directions. By the time local security guard and the conventional security men at the gate engaged the bandits, they had already succeeded in abducting so many students, and some of them were lying dead. But the efforts minimized the damage as the attackers didn't go beyond the 4-story halls, the source said. According to the source, the students were preparing for their first semester examination, expected to commence on Monday, May 13th, when the bandits struck. A student who spoke under anonymity said he and some colleagues ran into the bush and hid there for more than an hour. We only ventured out when everywhere became quiet, he said. The Vice Chancellor of the university, Mr. Abdurrahman Asipita, confirmed the incident but refused to give details of the number of students abducted and the students that were killed. I don't talk to journalists on incidents like this, but I want you to know that we are on top of the situation, the Chancellor added. The Police Commissioner in Kogi State, Mr. Bertrand Onoha, did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Jerry Omodara, Kogi Security Advisor, could not be immediately reached for comments about this matter. Yes, that is always the story. So many government agents, including the Vice Chancellor, refuse to respond to this matter. And to follow up this matter, if the national newspapers and national televisions did not report something like this, nobody will even continue to talk about it. Those students will be there at their own destiny. This is a situation that has been going on in Nigeria that needed a stop. I think the Nigerian students at this point, the National Association of Nigerian Students (NANS), should swing into action to protest from around the country for government to protect the institutions. Not quite long, about 2 months ago, 300 students from secondary school were kidnapped. They were abducted in the broad daylight, and the operation lasted for hours without the presence of any security personnel. But they were fortunate that so many of them were rescued. I think it was only 2 persons that lost their life. So this is a concurrent situation that is going on in Nigeria that the rest of the world are turning blind eyes to. Nigeria is becoming one of the unsafe places to live. When you come to think of this is not about demarketing Nigeria, but you could see so many metropolis where big politicians live. They live with their securities, and they can confirm to everyone that Nigeria is safe. But the metropolis and the capital of different states are not the real Nigeria. The real Nigeria are the villages, are the cities where politicians and big men don't live in. Those people who are living there are suffering. They are living there every day and night, not sleeping because of insecurity. So many villages are no longer going to farm because of insecurity. I think it is time for us to call a spade and tell the story about what is going on in Nigeria.
What else are you expecting? Let me tell you, people are going to be hungry for the next 4 years. Forget it. Because Naira will not appreciate. The only secret in appreciating Naira is what? There is no magic.
Well, there you have it.
To strong currency. Strong currency is predicated on strong economy.
True.
Strong economy presupposes an industrial productive base and a steady export market. He has told you must shift emphasis from consumption to production. What is this government doing? They are simply consuming. I'll give you an example. Look at the budget. 10 trillion naira for capital expenditure, yet 17 trillion naira for recurrent expenditure, including 8.2 trillion naira for servicing debts. Since this government came in, it has borrowed close to $15.8 billion in 7 months. Meanwhile, you have removed oil subsidy completely. What are you borrowing for? You said you want to remove oil subsidy so you can have more money to give us these amenities. Yet you have borrowed all this money. Let me tell you what they're doing with it. 5 billion naira to give the first lady to eat. Nothing else. Because she doesn't have any constitutional duty or function. Then 20 billion naira to give chief of staff. They said to renovate his house. 15 billion naira to renovate the VP's house. This will cost Nigeria about 110 million naira every day for the next 1 year. Meanwhile, you cannot give the workers who are productive up to $1 a day as wage award. So this is a government that doesn't have empathy, that does not invest in productive means. They are still consuming the money. Oil price is not going to come down soon. He has told you he is not desperate about being Nigerian president. And he has shown it. Even when INEC did all the abracadabra. You know what Obi say? Calm down. We wouldn't need to destroy the nation. We will get it at the right time. So he is moving because he's searching for the particular environment and platform where the people that he's going to lead will accept this new Nigeria, where men should not just that they shouldn't be corrupt, but they should be incorruptible. You can't get that in the traditional platform that is existing in Nigeria now. You cannot get it in PDP. You cannot get it in APC. I dare anybody that wants to confront what I'm saying. So I agree with you. The elected class now, even some from Labour Party, have not impressed me. They've not impressed Nigerians. But Peter Obi has impressed me because I was inside the political room and I knew how he was carrying his life. And I knew that he meant it when he said, I would rather do the right thing and lose than doing the wrong thing and winning. So I agree with you. But please, if you watch what I'm saying, I keep talking about P2B, New Nigeria. Because for now, he is the only politician I can tell you that can make these things possible. Look at what is happening in Nigeria today. Can you say this is what we wanted to see that our debt now is 88 trillion naira. And what are you spending it for? Nothing. Consumption. Buying SUVs, 100% imported for 469 members of the National Assembly. And then you are talking about job creation. You know, he said his 8 priority areas. You know, he mentioned it in the speech. National defense and security. He has failed on that. Job creation. He has failed on that. Look at it. Macroeconomic stability. He has failed on that. He said he removed dual foreign exchange and wanted to make a single exchange. Are we not having the dual today? They are saying 800 naira official rate, and you have 1,200 naira. He has failed on that. You talk about investment environment optimization. He has failed on that. You talk about, this is his own 8th priority area. You talk about poverty reduction. He has failed on that. You talk about social security. He has failed on that. You talk about human capital development. He has failed on that. What else has he not failed on? So, you know, if you want to know how the 4 years will be, you start from 7 months. In these 7 months, how has he worked hard to cut wastage? I just told you about 40 billion naira is going to go into consumption that will add no productivity to Nigeria. I just told you a man who said he wants to revamp the economy, revitalize the industrial sector, and yet you're buying 469 imported SUVs when you have products that are assembled in Nigeria that you could have bought to improve the productive capacity of these firms. So what else is he going to do differently? He has borrowed about 15.8 billion naira, $billion. When is he going to pay all this? He's spending 98% of the revenue servicing debts, and he's borrowing more. What else are you expecting? Let me tell you, people are going to be hungry for the next 4 years. Forget it. Because naira will not appreciate. The only secret in appreciating naira is what? There is no magic.